Добрий день, я вітаю всіх, хто приєднався до нас. Мене звуть Ольга Таманова і я рада вітати вас у медіа-центрі «Україна сьогодні». Сьогодні ми вас запросили, аби поговорити про вищу освіту, а саме про результати і підсумки вступної кампанії 2025. І у нас сьогодні у студії Mykola Трofyменко, заступник міністра освіти і науки України. Вітаю вас, пане Микола.
Вітаю.
Пане Микола, сьогодні будемо говорити якраз про підсумки, і хотілося б безумовно дізнатися, по-перше, наскільки у нас збільшилась кількість студентів в Україні, який шлях вони обирали, які професії обирали, і трошки поговорити про всі ці результати, які вже маємо, про які можемо розповісти нашій аудиторії. Тож, прошу.
Так, я всіх вітаю, дякую за увагу до цього питання. У нас 20 жовтня завершилась вступна кампанія. І сьогодні, власне, ми можемо підбити такі перші підсумки і поговорити про цифри. Вони, так скажемо, стабільні і вони дуже хороші, на мій погляд, в тих умовах, в яких кампанія наша проходила. Я вибачаюсь заздалегідь за те, що дуже багато цифр зараз буду називати, але це через те, що ви маєте їх знати. Варто сказати, що у нас конкуренція за кожне місце державного замовлення в першу чергу вона зростає. Ми можемо сказати, що у нас електронних кабінетів цього року було створено менше в порівнянні з попереднім. Якщо минулого року у нас було 529 тисяч таких кабінетів, цього року ми говоримо про 484 електронних кабінети. Активними серед них, як і минулого року, було було 92% від всіх зареєстрованих. Водночас поданих заяв в університети стало більше – 1 167 000 проти 1 055 000 в 2024 році. Це зростання на 11%. Середня кількість заяв на одного активного вступника зросла з 2,2 до 2,6 заяв, що означає підвищення інтенсивності вибору та, безперечно, говорить про конкуренцію в межах пріоритетів. Що стосується структури зарахувань, то на бюджет на всі освітні рівні зараховано 98 182 особи, на контракт 207 831. Частка бюджету в загальному наборі піднялась з 30% до 32% по факту. Що стосується гендерного та вікового розподілу, то частка жінок
Availability, the part raised from 44.8% to 52.3%. It's 5% raise. Amount of students 25 and up, of age 25 and up, has lowered from 28.4% to 23.9%, minus 5% delta. This is all of education levels, bachelor's, master's, and PhDs. Specifically of the bachelor's degree, we had 889,000 people. This is more than last year by 20%. And the result for the budget is 57,934 people, which is 2.4% less than last year. The contract form has received 137,228 people, which is 4.7 more than last year. Overall, we had 195,162 students, which is almost 5,000 more than last year. So we can say right now that we have more young people, more students in our Ukrainian universities. We do not have medical specialties. We do not have military specialties. Those numbers are classified due to security. About cross-medical masters, I'll mention them later on. I should also mention about the Bachelor's of Civic Specialties. The first priority choice is 64.1%. So 3 out of 5 applicants have received exactly what they wanted. Their choice was understanding, and they knew where they wanted to go. This was their first priority, and we talk about 64% of those students that were enrolled by their first choice. This is a very good number. About the structure, we can say that the top majors were management, philology, psychology, law, and marketing. This shows that the demand in humanitarian disciplines and those specialties in the market is pretty high. Besides psychology, this was mostly contract because the budget, the state demand for them is minimal. I think I will not be going over the top 10 majors. We will share those numbers. Just not to bore everybody with the numbers. All of the data, all of the ratings of universities, because they're very interesting. I can mention that top 10 universities is for the budget. First place is Lviv Polytechnic University. This is bachelor's on the budget. First place is Lviv Polytechnic University. Second place is Kyiv Polytechnic Institute. Third place is Kyiv University of Shevchenko. Lviv University of Franco is fourth. Fifth is Kharkiv Polytechnic University. Next goes National University of Life and Environmental Sciences. Eighth place is Karazin Institute in Kharkiv. Ninth place is the Ukrainian Institute of Technologies. And 10th place is Lutsk University. What I mentioned about the medical, the demand for this is rising. We had more applications. We had 9,175 students in this year versus 8,627 last year, 6% more. The passing grade for the budget was only 3 points more than the contract form, and most medical masters have some sort of support from the state. Either they're on the budget or on grants. In 2025, on first-year students, we had 204,337 people, which is 2.6% more than last year. We had a pretty severe increase in the contract students, which debunks the myth of price scaring away applicants. We had a median of the price that the government pays for each student with the prices that the university receives from each student for the contract. So we had those evened out due to the fact that we are fighting dumping, we're fighting lowered prices as unsporting and uncompetitive. The part from the contract students is about 40%. This is a pretty severe raise of our funds, and due to the fact that we are expecting a raise in salaries of our science workers and teachers, the universities provide that, and the government provide the raise of prices. This is very timely and very necessary. About the master's program, we have less applicants, especially on the contract form. We had 217,743 applicants this year versus 280,355 last year, minus 22.3%. Those enrolled is 97,106 versus 125,877 last year. Again, minus 22.9%. Out of those, the budget part is 31.4% this year versus 25.3% last year. We had 6.1% more allocated space, which begs the question, why such a decline? Because 15,500 of those were were students of 25 age and above. So those who enrolled for master's degree last year and year before that, for deferment, for example, we understand that those have already finished their studies, and a large part of them, of our civilians 25 of ages 25 and up, they already received education, so those numbers have declined. About the PhD, we have a severe decline in the share of men age 25 and up, and almost double share of women of the daily form. In that form, we had about 44,643 people on the day form and the budget. The contract, we had 1,119 people. That's external form and foreigners. Of those women are 18.5%. Last year we had 9.5%. 2,291 of those are aged 25 and up, of which 1,998 are men. So we can see that we had about a 70% decline of applicants, men, by 70%. About grants, we know that we have developed those as another part of state support. First-year students have been offered 17,146 of those grants, which is 19.3% more than last year, and accepted are 15,472. I should mention that among the top majors of these year's students, this is psychology, 1,600 grants, law, 982, automotive transportation, 742 grants, philology, 713, and design, 696 grants. If we see them by universities, by amount of students that received grants, first place is the Franco University in Lviv, 1,167 grants. Second place is National University Lviv Polytechnic Institute, 1,000 983. Kyiv University of Shevchenko has received 981. Kyiv Mykola Academy 456, and Kyiv Ukrainian Catholic University 432 grants. First, this year's students have received first level grants, which are from 17,000 UA, for students that have passed the testing for 140 points. And second level is 25,000 UA and up for those who have passed testing for 170 points and above. 40% of those are grants of the first level, less than 25,000, and 4.4 thousand are the ones that second level, 25,000 and above. 4.9 thousand are grants above 25,000. Those are grants given to people from occupied territories, and they have a heightened coefficient. So we can see that the state supports our students, and you can see that you are able to receive either a place on the budget or one of the grants. About social categories, I should also mention this. We have veterans with disabilities, 620 people, which is twice of last year. 19,259 are veterans combatants, which is 4.5 thousand more than last year. 21,836 children of combatants, which is 5,000 more than last year. And about students from temporarily occupied territories, we have 9,434 people. This includes the students who are formally temporarily displaced because they are registered in the occupied territories. Because the students who are moved specifically to enroll in Ukrainian universities were deported, were displaced, used our special services, Ukrainian civic services to move. We have only several hundred of those. Their numbers are also classified. Our government is fighting for every single person, every single child. We will be facilitating their return and their supplying them with everything needed in internationally recognized Ukrainian territories. About children of deceased veterans, we have 2,643 people. I also must mention that those do not always enroll onto the budget. They sometimes enroll onto the contract form, and the university afterward contacts the Ministry of Education of Ukraine to allocate additional budget places, and those have been satisfied to a capacity of 100%. We understand this necessity, and we use all of the we adhere to all of the requests from the universities in this regard. Next year's campaign, we have several changes. We have the task set by the president to keep our youth inside Ukraine. We are working on the enrollment campaign of next year's and its rules. We have already started the next campaign. We're waiting for the law to be passed, and we'll be reviewing the text of the rules for enrollment for next year. We've already started. Developing such a text, but our task is to make it easier so every single future student can find their place in the rules and can find their categories. How to become a student instead of just an applicant. We also are planning to stop using motivational letters, and the results of the check have unfortunately revealed that we have had a high increase of students, male students 25 years and above. We've seen those letters be pretty much identical copies. That is not okay. We plan to shorten the amount of applications that a student can submit from 15 to 12. Budget places will still be the same, 5. So students can make a better choice and receive more of their first choice applications. We also plan to change the documents for we also plan to change the documents for combatants to keep them along with the United State Register of War Veterans. And we are also looking into the into the bachelor's degree applications of medical masters, pharmaceutical masters, and veterinarian masters. We're looking to use in external school testing rather than our internal ones if our citizens were studying abroad, so that we could use those results, the results of their studies. Possibly this is what we'll do next year. Thank you, Mr. Mykola. We will have questions. It seems that our main competition is our partner countries' educational facilities. This is EU, this is Great Britain. How well would you rate our ability to be competitive? You know, I would not say that our media is right about our 10th graders, 11th graders were gathered onto squares and sent to abroad so they can enroll into educational facilities that is going to be easy for them. Now, if you actually analyze the ways to enter educational facilities where we have our students, which is Poland, which is Baltic countries. In Poland and Germany, for example, the enrollment campaign application process is not easier, if the person wants to enroll onto the budget, they must know the language fluently. This is a pretty high level of knowing Polish or German to be enrolled onto the budget. The other forms are contract, and those are pretty pricey. And they have high demands for applications. Our system is not any less in quality of European institutions. We have all of the capabilities, all of the facilities for the students to learn, and I can see by the numbers that we have an increase compared to last year, even though we are trying to raise the quality level and we are trying to stop draft dodging. All of our numbers have basically balanced and returned to the pre-invasion numbers. So we can see that the Ukrainian education system is in demand. So I think the statement that we are losing a large amount of students to European countries, I don't think that is happening. We have a large amount of students that are using the programs that the Ukrainian universities allow to collaborate with the educational facilities abroad. Yeah, that is happening. So our students are receiving the experience of studying abroad while being in Ukrainian university. It's interesting that you mentioned students abroad. It doesn't seem that we have many of those students. Actually, we have quite impressive numbers. We have about 20,000 of foreign students studying in Ukraine, despite all of the security concerns. It's pretty impressive number. I think it's a very important category. It's investors into Ukrainian economics, into Ukrainian university. They are filling the special funds, and we will be doing everything with the governments of other countries that are seeing what level of education their students are receiving to be improving our own quality and experience. But if the students, if a foreigner wants to study in Ukraine, if their embassy has no reservations, there is no block from our side. So we are having these people, and we are not losing this position as a country that is holding the education market. We are doing everything to, when the war is over, return the status of an educationally attractive country. One more question about the students from temporarily occupied territories. We understand that those people will be, you mentioned there are about 9,000 of those. About the dynamics, is it rising, is it falling? You must understand that it is a lot harder to leave the occupied territories. We are using everything in our power, in local administrations, government level, to work with applicants, providing them with information, which is also difficult because Russia is using everything in their power to stop information channels that our citizens can use to be informed. But anyway, through the grapevine, through schools, because we have a large amount of grade school students who are still studying online in Ukrainian schools while they are in temporarily occupied territories. Our task is to inform them about enrollment, about receiving small fund to adapt, how they can use dormitories. There's a civic center at Donbass is Ukraine. So we are using everything to change the way Ukrainian enrollment is seen. So Ukraine is doing everything possible to inform our citizens and facilitate their enrollment from applicant to student. We had people enrolled in schools and polytechnic universities, and technical universities. Unfortunately, that number has fallen. We have to be doing more. Thank you for those answers. It is very interesting every time to see the choice of major of specialties. When I was looking through the numbers, it has management, it has law, it has philology. But this year we have a new choice, international economics and external affairs. How would you mention this? And what is the state priority about financing and state demand? Of course, it's very important. It's very easy to explain the choice of a student. The external affairs and economics is easy to understand. It's through Euro integration, due to Euro integrational processes, with a large amount of international organization donors and grants. We have a pretty large amount of students interested in this. And this is probably seen. Plus, they offer high salary. It's quite prestigious. So this is probably why they're picking this. State priority is majors that are already used right now to rebuild Ukraine. This is engineering, this is software, computer sciences, everything to facilitate our defense. And this is why the budget spaces are allocated to those majors. We're doing everything possible to draw students to those specialties. So when a student has enrolled into university, we have an informational campaign to help the student be adapted to the job market so they can be integrated even while they're still studying. This is one more way of what we do. So as a student is still studying, they already can have a job. And we can show that, yes, these majors are worthwhile and necessary. Yeah, we will still be continuing work in this regard. Thank you. Colleagues, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'd like to thank you for joining our media. Thank you for the information. Thank you for our armed forces, thanks to whom we can gather and help this, and glory to Ukraine.